We are about 3 weeks away from training camp getting started as we bring in Mary Kay Cabot next on the Wise All Right, We Make It Right, Call Right Hotline.
As the Cleveland Browns approach their 2026 training camp, the atmosphere surrounding the franchise is thick with both anticipation and a sense of impending finality for several key members of the organization. The landscape of the team has shifted dramatically over the past few months, and with the official kickoff of camp just weeks away, the narrative is being driven by a combination of established veteran pressure and a surge of youthful energy from a highly touted rookie class. At the center of this storm is a quarterback situation that remains the most analyzed storyline in professional football. While the rest of the roster is being filled out with dynamic playmakers and an underrated receiving core, the focus inevitably returns to the man under center and the looming question of whether the massive investment in Deshaun Watson will finally yield a championship-caliber return, or if the era of Shedeur Sanders is destined to begin sooner than anyone in the front office originally projected. The most controversial storyline of the offseason has undoubtedly been the health and consistency of Deshaun Watson's arm. Recently, high-profile insider Mary Kay Cabot found herself at the center of a media firestorm after her observations.
Quarterback competition playing itself out.
Well, I think that it's going to be a really robust, heated battle. And let me just revisit and mention something about my arm fatigue statement. I surmised that perhaps
regarding Watson's shoulder fatigue during minicamp were amplified and, according to her, taken out of context by the wider sports blogging community. In her recent clarifications, Cabot explained that her comments were based on minor inconsistencies observed during the final days of organized team activities and minicamp, specifically a few deep balls that didn't have the usual zip or pinpoint accuracy. However, she was quick to point out that this was not a report of a new injury or a flare-up of previous surgical issues, but rather a
job, and if he's going to be able to build on what he did last year.
Mary Kay, I thought about this question recently, like this past week, and I know from the outside looking in, expectations are probably pretty low.
Moment of conjecture during the long grind of the offseason. Since those sessions, reports from Watson's private summer workouts suggest that his arm looks as strong as ever. And as he enters the final year of his contract, the urgency for him to perform has never been higher. This is a make-or-break season for Watson. He is a veteran who understands that his legacy in Cleveland, and perhaps his future in the league, depends on his ability to stay healthy and recapture the elite form that made him a superstar. Standing directly in Watson's path is the X factor of the entire Browns organization.
Rookie draft class this April. So I guess how much do you think wins and having more wins maybe than last year is going to matter in the big picture of Todd Monken's future here? Or is it going to be about maybe other things?
Quarterback Shedeur Sanders. Despite being a later round selection in this narrative's context, Sanders has captured the imagination of the fan base in a way few rookies ever have. His performance during spring ball was described by many as clinical, and he has shown a remarkable ability to build on his previous successes without being intimidated by the veteran presence of Watson. The intrigue surrounding Sanders isn't just about his talent. It's about...
Of course, nobody's hoping that happens, but I think that he is showing all kinds of signs of being a successful NFL head coach. Players are responding well to him. I like how he shows his emotions both at the podium and on the football field.
His mindset. He has been documented throughout the summer engaging in high-intensity workouts, even appearing in viral videos where he is seen throwing pinpoint passes with his eyes closed, a feat that, while dismissed by some as a parlor trick, suggests a level of spatial awareness and muscle memory that is rare for a player of his age. If Sanders can transition this confidence to the padded practices of training camp, the pressure on the coaching staff to give him a legitimate shot at the starting job will become impossible.
For the Browns, like we know what the Vegas odds are on win total for Cleveland and all that, but internally that doesn't mean there's not individuals who maybe have some pressure on them, whether it's Todd Monken as a coach or Andrew Berry in the front office or just a player in general. So I guess I'll just...
Possible to ignore. This isn't just a backup situation. It is a full-blown battle for the soul of the offense. Beyond the quarterback room, The Browns' rookie class is showing signs of being one of the most productive groups the franchise has seen in years. Names like Casey Concepcion and Denzel Boston have already become favorites among the training staff and insiders. Concepcion, in particular, had what many described as a great camp, showing a level of separation and sure-handedness that suggests he could be a primary target from week one. The energy brought by these young players is being felt throughout the building. And it is
A little bit in minicamp. When we saw a few passes here or there where you're like, oh, that was not exactly maybe where he was hoping that was going to go, not as pinpoint as it should perhaps be. I surmised that maybe, just maybe, he got a little tired towards the end. That was just conjecture.
providing a necessary spark for a veteran core that has been through years of grueling disappointments. The organization is on a fact-finding mission with these rookies, attempting to see how quickly they can integrate into an offensive scheme that is being redesigned to be more eclectic and unpredictable. With playmakers like Harold Perkins and a healthy Quinton Judkins also expected to have massive seasons, the Browns have quietly assembled a group of weapons that could be among the most...
Starts, or is it something you think more so could be likely as a trade deadline decision if the team isn't performing up to par?
Well, in these situations, just like I had said back then with Miles this season, you can never say never. I didn't expect that one to happen.
Most dangerous in the league if the quarterback can deliver the ball in a timely and accurate fashion. The cultural shift within the organization can also be attributed to the leadership of Todd Monken, who is bringing a different kind of intensity to his role. Monken, a veteran with over 30 years of football experience, has been a stabilizing yet
Start to go better than you thought they were going to go, and sometimes you pivot and you change philosophies. They'll always try to win as many games as they possibly can, but you might look at the team and think, okay, maybe this team isn't quite ready yet this year. Maybe next year is the year where we expect this team to go to the playoffs. And if that's the case, then I don't think they're going to hold his feet to the fire to win a bunch more than 5 games this year. So they'll kind of have to see what it looks like when they put it out on the grass, when they get
force for the team. His ability to show a wide range of emotions, from yelling at a player during a mistake to laughing with them on the sidelines, has created a new dynamic in the locker room. Players are responding well to this emotional map, and there is a sense that the team is becoming more unified and more expressive of its collective personality. This team-building effort is critical, especially following the departure of high-profile names in recent seasons. The defense, now anchored by voices like Denzel Ward, is playing with a chip on its...
I don't think they have any intentions of trading Denzel Ward, but when you see Myles Garrett walk out the door, then you just never know. So I can't say...
shoulder. Ward's recent, with us or against us, comments have set a tone for the locker room, signaling that the identity of the Browns is no longer tied to just 1 or 2 superstars, but to a collective commitment to proving the doubters wrong. As the team prepares to hit the grass in late July, the statistical rankings and national expectations for the Browns remain relatively low, with many experts skeptical of their ability to compete in a crowded division. However, this lack of national respect seems to be exactly what the team needs. There's a palpable motivation among the veterans to prove that they are more than just a supporting cast to big names, and that the defensive front can still dominate even as the scheme evolves. The offensive line remains a point of strength, and if Monken's system can truly spread the wealth among the eclectic receiving group, the Browns could be the surprise team of the 2026 season. Everything, of course, hinges on the battle between the high-priced veteran and the hungry rookie. Training camp will be the ultimate proving ground, and every throw, every meeting, and...
in terms of sacks and pass rush and quarterback hits and those kinds of things, and I think that'll be good for everyone.
It seems like our new defensive coordinator is putting emphasis on going out here and being able to create turnovers. And I know for me, Mary Kay,
every maintenance day will be scrutinized by a city that is desperate for a winner. The era of excuses is over. The era of results is about to begin, and whether it's Watson or Sanders leading the charge, the Cleveland Browns are ready to embrace the pressure. The strategic pivot the organization might make depends entirely on the first few games of the season.
Obviously, in so many ways. But when it came time for him to go home, he drove out to Medina and he kind of did his own thing. I think that Jared Verse is going to be bringing guys together more, maybe off the field, maybe hanging out a little bit more, maybe being one of the guys a little bit more than Miles was at times. And I think that's going to be good for these guys. I think he's
season. Jimmy Haslam and the front office have made it clear that they expect more than what they saw last year. And while Super Bowl expectations haven't been explicitly stated for this exact moment, there is a quiet understanding that this team needs to be in the playoff hunt. If Watson struggles with consistency, or if the arm fatigue narrative returns, the move to Sanders will be swift. The Browns have built a roster that is ready to win now, and they cannot afford to waste another season waiting for a veteran to find his rhythm. The combination of an underrated defense, an elite rookie class, and a new offensive philosophy under Monken has created a window of opportunity that is wide open but rapidly closing. As the fans prepare for the trek to training camp, the message from the locker room is clear. The team is focused, the quarterbacks are grinding, and the battle for the future of Cleveland football is officially underway. Make sure to keep your eyes on the rookies and the X Factor Sanders, because the landscape of the AFC might be about to change forever.